Hello and welcome to the 8th tutorial in the JavaScript Basics tutorial series, and in this tutorial we're going to look at arrays. This tutorial assumes you've done tutorial 2. If you haven't, there'll be a link in the description to the source code, and as usual there'll be a link in the description to the source code produced from this tutorial. Okay, so what are arrays? Arrays are basically just a data type which we discussed in the previous tutorial, but I felt it is a separate tutorial to actually give it true justice. Arrays are just basically a collection of variables. That's all they are, really. They just allow you to group a bunch of variables together. Naturally, when you create an array, you want to store sort of common variables. So you might have an array of called high scores, so which may contain 5 of the high scores a player has achieved in a game. You wouldn't just have it for, I don't know, have random data. So you might have, I don't know, a name in there, or a road and a hard drive ID and whatnot. And those are just random pieces of data. So let's just open up the files from tutorial 2. And then let's just go to the main.js. Leave the alert there for now. And to declare an array, you just do. You don't need to put the name array. Actually, I'll call it something else. I'm going to call it my array or my R. But yeah, this is obviously just a variable name. So you declare it as a normal variable, but you do equals square bracket, and then inside you just put how many variables you want. So I'm just going to put 5, 7, and 8. So now, if I do my R, to access the data, you do square bracket, and then you put the index that you want to access. Most might think, or they do before they actually know how programming works, this is 1, but it's not. It's actually 0. That's 1, and that's 2. Computers start as 0, so whenever you're doing a lot of indexing, it's more than likely going to be 0. So to get the number 5, you have to put 0. And likewise, if we put 1 and 2, we'll get 3 alerts, and one will say 5, 7, and then 8. So if we just go to our web page, we've got 5, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's all there is to arrays. Also, you can also declare arrays like this as well. So if I just go new array, and so I'm going to put 3 in there, so that's how many elements I want in the array. And I'm going to put my R 0 equals, so you can also assign data to it. I'll put 7. Copy and paste it. Actually, I'm going to miss out this line and just put 2. Put 99 for that. Refresh our web page. So we got 7 undefined because we haven't defined anything, and then 99. You might think, what happens if you were to do something like 10? And we'll see what happens. Let's just put that as 10. 5 and 99. So you might think it's 10 will be the 11th index in this array, and you might think, okay, it's printed out, or an alert came up with that number, so what is the significance of this? If you've used any other programming language, what you will know is this would not have worked, and it would have broke the program. Well, in JavaScript is a lot more loose than other programming languages, so it gives you a lot more freedom. You don't want to do this. This is something that you do not want to do, because this can cause issues later on. In one of the tutorials toward the end of this series, we'll be looking at strict mode, which prevents a lot of these issues from happening, because it only allows strict coding within JavaScript. But what you can do is have an array like this that doesn't have a particular number. And if you refresh your web page, it works the same as they did with the number 3, but this way it's sort of an expanding array. So if you're not particularly sure how big the array is going to be, then you could do it like this. And finally, before we end the video, what also you can do is, perhaps we're going to have, let's change this to 1. You can also, in each array, have another array. So you could do new array. That could be an array of 4. You can do new array. Doesn't have to be 4 again, it could be 5. You can do whatever you want. The new, actually, we'll put this one as just regular data. And then what you can do is my array, and to access it you would do 0. So 0 would access this part in the first array. Then to access any other part in, any other part in the array inside it, you would put a no square bracket and then put the index. So that would range from 0 to 3, as we said before. Indexes start at 0 in programming. So if I were to put 2, that would access the third index, and we can make that equal to 8. And we can print that out as well. So if we do my alert my r0 2, and we'll refresh the web page, and now we've got 8. So yeah, that oh yeah, obviously you're printing out, let's just refresh. If we go back to here, you printed out comma, 8, comma, and that is because here we printed out our first array index, which is an array of 4 items, but we've only initialized one of them. So obviously it's only going to print out that one, and the others are going to be empty. So you can also print out all the data as well. So if you wanted to show the user, for example. That's it for arrays. They're immensely powerful. More than likely you will use them in any programming language. You know, the programming languages, they work pretty similar, but to do multi-dimensional arrays, they're a little different. But again, this is JavaScript. If you have any questions about other programming languages, feel free to message us. If you have any questions about this or any other JavaScript questions, feel free to message us as well. As usual, all the required links will be in the source code, and also thanks for watching.